Hi, in this video we are going to be talking about nutrition. Simple macronutrition strategies that are ultra effective for balancing your blood sugars, which is going to help you curb your sugar cravings, rev metabolism, and burn fat all day, okay? So nutrition is really important, and it can feel really complicated. I want to try break it down and keep it really simple for you. I want you to focus on nourishing your body, not restricting your body. So I'm all about focusing on the foods that you can eat and not on those foods we talked about last time, which are your inflammatory foods. Like, yes, you're going to have foods you're sensitive to and you're not going to eat them. Yes, dairy, gluten, sugar, processed foods are going to irritate you. They cause inflammation. But when you focus on those negative things, it makes nutrition feel really heavy and difficult. And that's where people get into the restrict calories, binge on all the food, feel guilty, run to punish yourself for the food that you ate, and then you start to restrict again, and then you binge, and then you feel guilty, and you're stuck in that cycle. I don't want that cycle for you. Nutrition doesn't have to be that hard. We're going to focus on what it means to nourish your body with the right food in the right balance and for the right reasons and at the right time, so that you can get super healthy at that cellular level. And when you're giving your body the things it needs, indulgently nourishing your body doesn't have to count calories. You don't have to measure or weigh your food, and your body's going to be getting all of the vital nutrients, antioxidants, all the stuff that it needs to function, okay? So I do want to read something to you. This is from the Run Fast, Eat Slow cookbook, and I recommend that everybody has this book, whether you're a runner or not. It's just such a beautifully written book full of really nutrient-dense recipes that aren't gluten-free, that aren't dairy-free, but they really believe in like eating everything because everything is good. And when we focus on nourishing whole foods, your body is going to react in a really positive way. And I love what they've written here, so I'm going to read a couple of the quotes from it. I simply love the intro to this book. It's really beautifully written in a way that I can't get it out, even though it's exactly how I coach my runners, how I live my life, okay? Because I don't restrict food, and I don't eat much dairy, and I don't eat much gluten, and I don't eat the foods that irritate me, but I'm not obsessive about it. I'm not crazy about it, and I'm still super fit, and you can be super fit and healthy too without being overboard crazy and getting stuck in that deprivation, binge, guilt, over-exercising cycle, because that is an ugly cycle to be caught in, okay? So as runners, we're focused on our immediate energy needs. We're so focused on our immediate energy needs that we don't talk about nourishing our bodies. We don't understand how to do that. The stress that running puts on the body means that to stay healthy, runners need more antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals than most people. In a culture accustomed to processed foods, produce shipped from halfway around the world, and factory farmed meats, it's more difficult than ever to fulfill our nutritional needs. As a result, runners everywhere are missing out on the nourishment their bodies need to thrive. As a runner, we cannot outrun a bad diet. It's really important that we nail our nutrition. We dial in our nutrition if we truly want to get fit and run fast and build a strong and healthy body from the inside out. This book can help you, and this course can help you do just that. But we're not just looking at crushing a PR or crossing a finish line. We're looking past the finishing line and aiming for lifelong health and fitness and happiness, okay? Despite all the medical discoveries over the last 50 years, humankind is far from thriving. In fact, we are less healthy today than our grandparents, and for the first time in history, children born today potentially have a shorter life expectancy than their parents. Occurrences of chronic diseases like cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and depression are at an all-time high. Studies show that unhealthy diets are the leading cause of these preventable diseases. Although runners are put on a pedestal as the epitome of health, we know all too well that runners and other endurance athletes are far from immune to these serious health issues. The convenience foods coveted by runners and busy women include bars, gels, sports drinks, and they not only lack real nutrition, but they're also high in inflammatory foods like refined grains, processed sweeteners, industrial oils, and artificial ingredients. There are more than 600,000 food items in the marketplace, and 80% of them have added sugar, and the majority are packaged foods. And the majority of packaged foods are nutrient poor and contain chemical additives. Scary considering that for most Americans, packaged foods make up 70% of their diet. As a result of our reliance on nutrient-poor processed foods, the majority of Americans are overfed, undernourished, and running on empty. Refined foods provide mass without sustenance, calories without sustenance. They don't do anything for your body. For an athlete, running on empty can lead to immediate negative consequences and long-term health concerns. It leads to injuries and weight gain and sugar cravings and all those signs of inflammation we talked about in the last one. The well-nourished athlete will not only perform better, but will perform better longer and be healthier and happier in the long term. So we're focusing really not just on today and losing weight, but on our long-term health. What can we do for our long-term health? Okay, so that's the focus of this topic. And I want to keep it as simple as possible for you. So I'm just going to dive into the real basics of what it means to nourish your body and and what the simple macronutrition strategies are for you. So to get started, macronutrition simply means macronutrients. Macronutrients are carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, aka real food. Simple macronutrition strategies means eating real food, nutrient-dense, whole food. That's what macronutrients are. Fats and carbohydrates and proteins are all very important for your body for different reasons. Carbohydrates are for energy. Fats stimulate, they build your brain. Proteins build muscle. They each do more than that, but that's the basics of them. We need all of those nutrients, and we need them all in balance. Plus, lots of fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are a carbohydrate, but they're also known as micronutrients because they're full of the minerals and some of the other antioxidants that we're not getting from the other macronutrients. So I often think of vegetables like the oil in your car. Your car needs gas, which are your big carbs, your fats, your proteins, and then your oil is the fruits and vegetables, and your car needs both and all of that stuff to function. So does your body. It needs all of the macronutrients and the micronutrients to function, okay? So really important. That's why low carb diets are not the answer. Low carb usually leads to hormonal imbalances and a lot of stress in your adrenals and your thyroids, and just really halts your body's ability to do all the things it needs to do. And as runners who are training hard, we need energy and we need all the food in the right balance at the right times, which is what we're going to talk about now. I have given you a 28-day meal plan, and it is gluten and dairy free. You don't have to be gluten and dairy free. You can sub in whatever you need, whatever feels good for you, but I thought that I would just show you how you could eat dairy and gluten-free. But don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect. The point of a meal plan isn't even for you to follow it to a T, it's to understand how to put the concepts I'm about to share with you into action and what that would look like in an actual meal plan. Everyone has their own sensitivities, their own likes, their own dislikes. I can't even get some of the food that's on there, so I appreciate that you might live somewhere where you can't just get almond butter or coconut oil the way some people can, or almond milk. I can't get that stuff here. So appreciate that a meal plan is really about understanding how to eat, why to eat, when to eat, and then you fill in the blanks of what you need specifically for you. It's like if I could give you fish, that's great, but if I could teach you to fish, it's even better because you'll be able to take care of yourself for a lifetime. Okay, so that's kind of my take on meal plans. I give you one as an example, but not as a you must eat these things. Okay, if you have questions about that, ask me. Okay, so we need to be eating. So let's go down and let's just hop straight into my nutrition principles, you guys. This is what I want you to be focusing on for the next 6 weeks together and as a lifestyle for the future. Okay, this is not just for 6 weeks. This is creating an eating lifestyle, an appreciation for nourishing your body that I hope you're going to be able to take with you forever. Okay, this is not a restrictive diet. This is eating real food. in a way that we're supposed to. So let me scroll down here. Make sure I read these all right to you. So number one strategy is don't count calories, okay? As women, we've been conditioned to count calories, that eating less is better for our bodies because we're saving calories and then we're gonna lose more weight and feel better. The truth is, when you're training strong, you're training hard, you need good food and you need a lot of it. All right, when we're restricting calories and overtraining, we're putting our body into starvation. We're putting our body into a state of real hormonal havoc, which is hard on our thyroids and on our thyroid and our adrenal, and it's messing up our fat-burning hormones. Okay, we're not getting enough food. We're in starvation mode. Imagine your car without oil or gas. It's not going to function. Your body is the same. It needs a lot of food. It needs the right food though. So tip number 2 is, instead of restricting and focusing on the foods you cannot eat, focus on eating more real wholesome foods because it is healthy, natural, and enjoyable. Indulge on whole foods that are packed with vitamins, fiber, antioxidants, enzymes, without artificial colors, preservatives, or unnatural chemicals. So don't focus on the quantity of the calories, but focus on the quality of the food. Real, nutrient-dense, wholesome foods, okay? Tip number 3 is eat all your macros. Carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. In the 28-day meal plan, I gave you a chart. It lists out healthy carbohydrates, it lists out fruits and vegetables, it lists out proteins, it lists out fats. You have different examples of good, healthy choices you can make from each column. The meal plan puts them all together into like real meals, so you see what that looks like. But the key is to eat all your macros. Every time you eat, you want to pair a carbohydrate with a fat and a protein. That strategy alone is going to help you balance your blood sugars, which is going to keep your energy stable. It's going to help you feel full. It's going to curb your sugar cravings, and it's going to rev your metabolism and allow your body to tap into fat stores and be burning fat all day. When you're just eating carbohydrates, which we tend to do, we're hungry, we grab crackers, we grab bread, we grab low-fat snacks, we grab the quick and easy things, we eat the crusts off our kids' plates. When you're just eating carbohydrates, you're messing up your blood sugars, and that's causing your body to spike insulin and crash insulin, and energy surge and crash and store fat and all kinds of crazy hormonal things. The way to get through that is to, every time you eat a carbohydrate, pair it with a fat and a protein. Okay, it's a really, really important tip to remember, okay? The next tip is plan to eat 3 meals per day plus snacks in between as you're hungry. So we're going to take that last concept of every time you're eating a carbohydrate with a fat and a protein, we're going to now give you a bit more structure. You don't want to be eating all day and grazing all day on food. You don't need to be. As runners, we feel we're hungry. We're working out, we feel we're hungry, but when we're eating carbs all day, yes, you feel hungry because you're always crashing and craving, and you're not giving your body the fats and proteins that it needs. Instead, try to focus on 3 meals per day. I don't care when you eat breakfast, when you get up, when you get hungry, 2-3 hours after you wake up, make sure at some point you're eating breakfast with a carbohydrate, a fat, and a protein. Then you plan to eat lunch, and you plan to eat dinner, and you plan to eat snacks in between as you're hungry. Tune into that hunger. Are you hungry or are you not hungry? If you are not hungry, don't eat. If you are hungry, eat something. Make sure it's whole food, nutrient dense, and you're pairing a carbohydrate with a fat and a protein. An apple with almond butter, veggies with hummus, a handful of nuts and seeds with a banana, stuff like that. Because if you just eat the banana, then you're just spiking the insulin, even though it's healthy. But we want to be balancing those blood sugars. So 3 meals per day plus snacks in between as you're hungry. Always pairing a carbohydrate with a fat and a protein. If you take anything away from the nutrition portion, it's that. Okay. You can even eat before bed if you're hungry. If you're hungry at night, so people will say to me, "Oh, I get really hungry. I have breakfast, and then I'm really hungry at 10 o'clock. I'm trying not to eat." I'm like, "Well, are you hungry? You worked out, you had breakfast, and now it's 2 or 3 hours later, and are you hungry?" We try to suppress that hunger so much that we're not listening to it, and then we're messing up our body's natural signs that are telling us to eat, right? And if you're hungry, eat in balance, carbohydrates, fats, proteins. Same with that 3 o'clock energy slump. eat. Like if you're hungry, eat, right? Often it's lunch at noon and then dinner not till 5. That's a long time for your body to go, especially a body that's training strong and breaking down muscle, trying to rebuild that. Remember I said after your strength workouts, your body is ramping up its metabolism for up to 48 hours after. So your body is churning through food. It needs the energy. It's hungry at 3, so feed it. Feed it a carbohydrate with a fat and a protein. Eat your dinner. Sometimes I eat dinner around 5 or 6. By 9 o'clock, I'm hungry again. And there's nothing wrong with eating at night if it's going to be a healthy, nourishing meal. If you're binging on all the crap in the cupboards at 10 o'clock at night, it is a problem. If you're eating a big bowl of brown rice with veggies and chicken before bed, it's not that much of a problem. If you're hungry, then eat. Often that nighttime eating is either emotional, or it's a sign of that you are truly hungry, or it's a sign that you didn't eat enough during the day. So reflect when you're hungry at night. What is it that you're feeling? What is it that's going on? Those are like massive tips for runners. Again, we focus a lot on what we need to eat right before and right after and during those workouts, but what I really need you to focus on in this program is what you're eating all day long and in between those workouts, because that's what really matters, okay? That's where we often get confused. Portions, generally, I always think just a little bit of carbohydrate, a little bit of fat, a little bit of protein, a normal size plate. Generally, it's like a palm of protein, a fist of vegetables. Vegetables are really important. You want to be eating them with every meal. A lot of green, 5 to 10 servings of vegetables for the fiber, which is really good for your bowel health. A cupped hand of carbohydrates and a thumb of fat. Okay, so let's say that again. A palm of protein, a fist of vegetables, a cupped hand of carbohydrates, and a thumb of fat. If you're still hungry, go back and eat more vegetables. Next tip, last tip, live the 80-20 lifestyle. Dial in your nutrition 80 to 90% of the time. Eat really well. You know, you're eating nourishing foods, you're reducing sugars, processed foods, and alcohol while focusing on the nutrient, healthy, wholesome foods. Leave yourself 10 to 20% room for a snack. You have to give yourself the ability to have the things you love, because when you completely deprive yourself, your brain is not happy and it is going to drive you to binge. It's going to drive you to crave until you give in, and then you get stuck in that cycle. So let yourself have things. This is not about perfection. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to eliminate everything. You don't have to restrict everything to get fit and fast and strong and build a healthy runner's body. I love wine. I love dark chocolate, but I dial in my nutrition 80 to 90% of the time, Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week, week after week, month after month, year after year, through camping seasons, through holidays, through birthdays. That is the key. So dial it in. Focus on nutrient-dense food, 3 meals per day, plus snacks in between as you're hungry. Focus on your portions, eat lots of vegetables, don't count your calories, and focus on that 80-20 lifestyle. It's a really beautiful lifestyle. And that's sort of the nutrition component of this. Make sure you read through the section if you want to like read through it and get these things written down. But I'm going to give you also a daily healthy habit checklist. I'm going to put these all on there so that they're in front of you in really short form, because I want you to look at that every day when you're writing down your goals. You're also going to review what you need to do every day. These are going to be on there because these are like your basic principles, your philosophies for getting fit and healthy through this program and beyond. That's it for nutrition. I will see you in the next video where we focus on the recovery part of the anti-inflammatory protocol to get you fit, running faster, and building a super strong and healthy runner's body. If you have any questions, let me know in the Facebook group. I'm here to help you out. That's why we have 6 weeks to implement. If you have questions throughout the 6 weeks, let me know. I'm here to help you dial in your training and your nutrition and your recovery, all right? I'll see you in the next video.